Oh my, I'm all the way gone. Takira,
Yes.
what is on your screen?
I see all of you.
Okay, I see nothing on my screen.
Oh, but we are live though. It's working.
Okay, take it, Takira, take it.
All right. Welcome everyone to another Project 365 broadcast. I am your co-host, Takira Swan, and the lovely Miss Portia Wheatley that you see here is our host and president and founder of Trophy of Life, which is a nonprofit organization, which Project 365 is under. So this project, we are aiming to bring hope, encouragement, and inspiration to the entire world, 365 days of the year. And today we have two wonderful guests, and I am so excited because I see a great mural behind them, and I want them to tell me all about it. You guys, take it away. Tell us about yourselves.
Good afternoon. My name is Lisa Green, and this is my husband, Alex Green. And we are Harriet Tubman Tours in Cambridge, Maryland.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we provide tours of Harriet Tubman throughout the week. And I'm going to let Alex explain exactly, what we do in them.
Okay, so once again, my name is Alex Green, and I'm one of the tour guides along with Lisa, sharing this life and legacy of Harriet Tubman. So incredibly enough, Dorchester County, and I think she's going to flip around, flip the screen around, pretty much can see the view. Behind us is the Take My Hand mural. So let's do this if we can. I don't think you can turn it around here. I don't know. But anyway, the Take My Hand mural is behind us. And it speaks a lot of value to Harriet Tubman in Dorchester County. So for those of you who don't know, Harriet Tubman was enslaved right across the bridge, right across from in DC, Baltimore, right in the good old Dorchester County. And matter of fact, if you ever went to Ocean City, you rode right through Tubman country and probably didn't even know it. So this incredible woman that we're viewing back here on this mural did some incredible things inside of this terrible institution of slavery. So what I'm going to do is introduce you to this mural that's behind us and share with you how this painting by Mike Rosado tells a story. So if you look up here close, you see her big outstretched hand right here. I got my hand in right here. So people come here from all over the world to identify with Harriet Tubman, and it's on the museum. And not only has she got a big hand here, but she's actually stepping up on the brick wall right here to reach out and grab you. So she's doing a couple of actions at one time. And then up in the corner here, and way up in the corner there, you can see the actual North Star. She used that to gain access to her freedom in this institution. And so many things that we don't know about this institution in this area and across the United States would be that Harriet Tubman was a skilled traveler, a real skilled traveler, meaning she could just navigate all through these counties in the country, and she learned that skill from her father, Ben Ross. You may have heard on the news that Ben Ross' home just has been found, but they found some artifacts and all that stuff. But nevertheless, even in this picture, it shows the red glowing sunsets that's in the background here. And that's indicative of the winter time around here. You had these beautiful sunsets, and that also speaks to when the escapes happen. They happen in winter time. Why? Because the lights are longer. Longer nights, shorter days, gives you more time to run for your freedom. Incredible, incredible woman. And this mural actually speaks to her life. Also in this area, you would find a lot of people in this area in this time of Harriet Tubman's time were emancipated, meaning half the population in Dorchester County was free. Yes, I said free. So you have free African Americans walking around in this in this institution, but it did not give you the freedoms of other people, say the white folk that owned slaves. You didn't have that same type of freedom, but you did have the freedom not to be enslaved. So you wasn't owned by anybody. So this whole atmosphere around here is different. It's a different shift. You can even tell when you come across the Western Shore to the Eastern Shore, it's a different type of atmosphere here, but it's so historical. Right across the bridge, Frederick Douglass. They would be enslaved in 2 neighboring counties, but didn't know each other till later years. So if you haven't heard about Frederick Douglass, I admonish you to read about him. He's an incredible orator. I mean, this guy was powerful in what he did, and he was enslaved in the next county over. So sharing this information around here is almost, you have to come see it. You have to come down here and take a tour, because I can tell you about the courthouse. I can tell you about Long Wharf, but the main key to this whole thing is that you come down and experience, because every location has an experience. Like when you go to the courthouse, a place of justice and injustice at this time. So you're having supports of a legal process going on, but they're selling African American people. So that's not justice. So you find that there. Long Wharf, the port of entry, so powerful because she had 2 sisters sold into slavery right from that very location. So that's powerful. You also see a documented slave quarter on this historical high street going down to the wharf. This concept gives you a question mark about slavery at this time, because we always look at slavery as cotton, tobacco, beating, all these things. We always look at it like that. It wasn't all that. This Bailey family, and not sugarcoating it at all, because slavery is definitely one of the terrible institutions there was besides the Holocaust. Yes, I did say that. It was. But the Bailey family would own slaves, but they would humanize the slave. What I mean by that is they treat them like humans. So dehumanization in one's characters is one of the key factors behind this institution of slavery. It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing more than a physical thing. We always see the pictures of the African Americans in raggedy clothes and got marks on their backs. It all wasn't that. You had some brothers and sisters that really, really had high skill set. 1, Frederick Douglass. 2, Harriet Tubman, Booker T. Washington, George Washington. I could go on about these high skill sets these African Americans had. Also in Harriet Tubman, we always hear some people try to be rated and say, well, she couldn't read. Half the people couldn't read. I mean, at this time, it wasn't a necessity. But once again, right here in Cambridge, it's so historical. As I started to study some 10 years ago about this woman, I found it so amazing that this woman took her own life in her hands, and then would go back several times to help not only family members, but friends, people she didn't know. It speaks volume to a culture today. It really speaks to how can we help somebody else. I always say a kind gesture, a thank you, just might save somebody's life. You never know. You got to get out of yourself to get into something else. You just can't just focus on what you're doing and think you're going to prosper, because it will, and not trying to put any bad words on it, but it will circle around back. You just won't have peace on the inside. That's what happens, really, basically happens to you. You don't have peace. But here, this woman, this incredible woman, and inside of this institution of slavery would beat the odds. She would bust it down constantly, over and over and over. She would come in, they wouldn't even know who she was. Her name was Araminta Ross, a young Black woman, only 5 foot tall, very small built, very powerful in spirit and mind. It ain't always the strength, physical strength, it's the mental strength that you gotta worry about, really for real, because that's what dictates the character, pretty much, of a person. So you don't even look at racism. Racism is a part of the situation, but it's not what it's all about. It's your character. It's a lack of understanding between one another. So I explained the mural to you. I definitely want to show you something else out front, dealing with the Black Lives Matter movement. And it's a beautiful, beautiful painting on the street and Race Street. It doesn't have anything to do with the word race, but it's actually called Race Street. But on this street, you never would believe inside of this county, which was really Confederately held. When I say that, they had slavery in Maryland. They had it bad here. I mean, it was the last leg of the Underground Railroad system. You had the Mason-Dixon line, which divide Pennsylvania and Maryland. Then you got Delaware on the other side. Pennsylvania is where you wanted to get, but it was hard pressed. This incredible woman was born on the exodus of slavery, 1822. She wouldn't know that, but she's born right in the end so she can knock it right out. So that's why we're talking about this right now. You never know what the plans are for your life, but that happened for her. She would be the one, the emancipator, the Moses of the people. She would do it. She would constantly continue to come back, save families and friends. And when she got her mother and father, her whole objective was that, but she didn't stop because she didn't. She continued to help along the way. How much value did that speak? Don't stop in the middle. You keep pressing right on to the end, and then keep on doing it until you finish. Yes, no, you stopping. So she did that. She went on and got her mother, father away. She didn't need Dorchester County no more. She went down south there. Now, who would do that? You free. You free. You done got your family and friends, your brothers and sisters up north. Y'all living up. It might be cold up there, but y'all free. Then I go back down south. Come on. How many people you hear do that? How many people you don't hear that? This woman's incredible. This woman goes down south to be a nurse, a spy, help lead a river raid. Continue. What's reading got to do with that? Nothing at all. It's the character. It's the character of the person. So you hear somebody say, Harriet Tubman couldn't read, to say, okay, you know what level they on. So, but any kind of way, I want to kind of take you around. I don't know if anybody's got to ask some questions or anything like that. I can keep on talking. I'm passionate about what I do. Of sharing this history. This is my life. I didn't choose it, but it came upon me, so I'm doing it. This is going to be what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So I'm going to show you the mural, if I can't, the actual Black Lives Matter, so I can walk and she can walk with me as I'm walking. So we're walking on the side of the actual back of the museum. And I'm gonna get her to turn around and face this glass mural that's on the wall. And this is called Cannery Way. So she can do that as I'm talking. Now, this is kind of like a timeline as well, and I explain it. It starts with the American Indian. We already know what that's all about. They were here first. So you kind of like, they start off with that. Then they're going into the manufacturing age around here, big industry inside the kingdom. Tomatoes, packing companies, all that stuff here. And you see the African-American brother with the back, that's because of Philip Packing Company there. There was a big conglomerate here in the turn of the century. Of course, you got the good times with music playing, little brew there and some crabs and fishing, and the water all speaks to this area, sailing, and how I know so well being a waterman. And those of you like oysters, that's how you tongue. Oysters, so big. But see right here on this piece right here, to take a look at this well. These are some of the stops right here. I just was talking about the courthouse. This is it right here. You can focus down there instead of on me. Let's focus down there. The Dorchester County Courthouse. This is Harriet Tubman when she was young. This is when she was probably in her late 20s or 30s, right here. That's a picture of her. This is actually Bucktown, where she was injured with a 2-pound weight, and the Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad Visitor Center. I like to call that the Smithsonian Institute of Harriet Tubman. And this place was put together by our former president, Barack Obama. He made sure that got put together. It's not only a state park, it's actually a national park. So kudos to Brother Barack Obama. He did the thing and made sure it happened, and still there today. They can't close it down. They can't close that down or shut any state facility down like they could, because if they do that, they have to shut down the Washington Monument, the Veterans Memorial, Monticello, all those they got to go if that goes. So, once again, we're gonna try to get you a picture of this mural. And I'm gonna get Lisa to as I'm dictating, I'm gonna get her to show it. It's on a busy street. Let me show you this. Not come down here to see it. You gotta come down here to see it. Now here's Black Lives Matter. Starts with the B, of course. And inside of this is a Gloria Richardson. You may have heard of her. She was a Black activist in the 60s that stood up against military police action right here in Cambridge. So she's right there. Okay. And hey, my girl, Harriet Tubman, right there. She's right there. So see that? Hope you guys can hear me. Hope you guys can hear me. Right there, my man, Frederick Douglass, in the K. Right there, Frederick Douglass. You definitely got to come see this. Okay, we got some cars going by. And if you want to see an aerial view of it, go to HarrietTubmanTours.com, and we do have an aerial photo of it. And I've got a good one for you this time. How many of you heard of Miss Amanda Gorman? Together we rise. She did a poem at the inauguration of the now president Biden. There's together for there is always light, only where we leave enough to see it. If only we were to leave enough to be it. Miss Amanda Gorman, powerful young Black sister. Okay, see on the end it got together we rise. Then it goes all the way down the street here, and once again, have to come down there to see this. It's kind of hard to explain it, but it goes down to Groove City. That's what they call Cambridge. Groove City, you see right down here. If you're from around here, you hear 50 East, and that's it right there. So pan out of the way and let her do her thing right there. And then we'll pan back around and then we'll walk in front of the museum and I'll give you some information there.
Nice.
Okay. So we'll get on across the street here. I'll take this with me and then walk and y'all can see me better than she trying to focus on me. Hope y'all getting a good little bit of information from this, but the powerful information around here dealing with African American history is really rich. I can't explain it enough. I'm always searching, researching, and finding out more history. I do Frederick Douglass as well over in Talbot County. He's powerful in itself. You read any of his books. So I'm gonna give you a plan of this museum. One of the first institutions in this area recognizing Harriet Tubman. It's going to be right behind. You see the door right here. So you can do that, Lisa. Right there. So right here, Harriet Tubman Museum and Education Center. Put here in the 1982, and it tells the life and legacy of Harriet Tubman. It started years ago when they weren't even talking about Harriet Tubman. Matter of fact, in Cambridge, they considered her a thief. Ain't that something? That's crazy. But right now, as she becomes popular and people try to gravitate to her, you can't hang on to nothing if you never was hooked to it, really. You just hanging on. It's by the barrier threads, but you're going to be about something, stay into it, connect to it, and then you know it's the right thing, go ahead and move with it. But this right here is the oldest building on this street. I'm going to tell you a story about this. This whole street caught on fire in 1910. Every building down here burned down except for this. This building was put here in about the middle 1800s, and it winds up being the Harriet Tubman Museum. Yeah, that's destiny in its own self right there. So it's still structured right now. Only wood building on the whole street to survive the fire. Fire jumped from there all the way up there, didn't burn this building down at all. And as Lisa shows you down the street, you see all the information down there. So I wish I could take you guys around some more. I wish I could show you some more sites like the courthouse and different things that are around here. But if you want to come down, please just look us up. We'd be more than glad to take you on the tour. We've been blessed to be able to share, and I say blessed. I mean blessed. I am not going to take no credit at all. One thing I do is leave myself out. It's not about me. If I think about what I'm going to try to do, it's going to fail. Believe me, I tried. Don't work for me. I trust in the Lord with everything I got. And you know what? He's told me what to do with this. He said, leave yourself out of it. And I do. And so I have time to dig into the passion and the history of this incredible lady. I have time to sit down and read. I have time to sit down and just gauge. I don't never say, I wonder what it was like. You ain't got to wonder what it's like. What you gonna wonder what it's like for? And you got African American people owned by somebody else. That speaks for itself. Find out how our brothers and sisters survived inside this institution. How did they prosper? Everybody wouldn't beat to death. You can believe that. They wouldn't beat to death. They survived. So I don't know how much more time we have. I could talk for another hour or so. So I will swing back around. I'll swing back around there to the rather of course. Okay, say I can't hear you. Come on, we go back around. Hopefully you got some information. Might want to have a question or something somebody may want to ask. I'll be more than glad to try to answer. Because if I don't have the answer now, I'll get it for you, please. I'll get it. So once again, powerful information inside of here. And I was just sharing with my wife and Portia about the African American churches around here. And when I was sharing about this, we have a few that we go to. But the thing about these African American churches, they're falling down. These are where this is where the camp meetings and the real religion, because before that, African American folks wasn't allowed to have any churches. When they started building churches around here, they went for it. They actually went on and started, building their churches, congregations, and some of these churches are old. So I'm putting together a tour dealing with coming down here and seeing some African American churches along with this stuff that we do as well, because people need to know where it all started from. If you don't know, check out what Watch Night's about. How they watched. We use it going to church, but it was a time where they were watching for the the proclamation of emancipation to come through. And then we know about Juneteenth. It would be 2 years after that before they would recognize they was even free. So we've been on our game the whole time, and we ain't sitting around and, oh, woe is me. We always been on top of it. We just had to make sure we understood what was going on. Lack of information, it was kill you. So that's what they did. Keep lack of information and access. That's the key things nowadays, and always have been. If you don't have access to stuff, you will not be able to do it. Somebody got a question, please? I can't see.
Let's see. Right now, we don't have. We have one question in the chat. I think you answered it already, but I'm going to ask it. We have someone that said, "When was Harriet Tubman born?"
1822.
1822.
1822.
So, also, if anyone wants to contribute or help out with what you're doing, how can they reach you?
I can be reached by phone is 866-642-7743. Okay. And my email is tubmantours@gmail.com. We're on Facebook at Harriet Tubman Tours, Instagram, Harriet_tours_, Twitter at Harriet @HT Tours. So those are the best ways to really get a hold of me through those avenues. But yeah, that's the way to do it. And of course, we got a website, www.harriettubmantours.com. So
Awesome.
You can reach us by that.
I just want to encourage our viewers today, especially if you are in the Maryland area, the DMV area, come by and show support, check them out, learn some of this wonderful history, some things you may not know. Harriet Tubman, she was an amazing woman, and a lot of people don't really know much about her. So just go to these avenues that we have put before you. This is a wonderful business to support. And if we could just, like you said before, if we could just develop her character, her mindset, do you know how awesome our society would be? Awesome, you know? So she was a strong woman and very generous, very helpful, and had the I guess heart of gold, a huge heart to help others and to make change and make difference. So I just want to encourage everyone to please check out those sites. And he said, if you want to help, if you want to donate, he gave you the avenues for you to contact him. I'm grateful for the tour that you did today. It's beautiful. I love that mural right there.
Yep, that's it.
I love it. I love it. I'm not sure Miss Portia, she's around there somewhere walking around. But if there's no other questions, then we are so good for today. Thank you so much for coming on our broadcast and giving us this tour.
Very.
Hold on, Portia's coming.
She's coming in. Okay, good.
Very well. Very well.
You know what? Yeah, my computer died. Well, I can't even see myself. You don't always like to see. Oh, there I am over there.
Yeah.
But listen, thank you so much, Alex and Lisa, for this information. Thank you for this information. Wait a minute. There.
Yeah.
There. And matter of fact, thank you, Takira, for taking over because my computer died.
No problem.
But I always say teamwork works. But this is my stomping ground. Dorchester County is my stomping ground. Born and raised here. So I wanted to make sure our audience had an opportunity to come and see the stomping ground of Harriet Tubman, actually. So I appreciate you, our audience, doing what you do to come in and encourage us and to learn some information regarding Harriet Tubman. So I say thank you. And I'm going to bounce it right back to you, Takira. End it however you can. Look, this amazing technology. You do what you have to do. You do what you have to do. But it was good information. And we're going to end this when you say we're going to end it.
Well, we said all we need to say today. He's given us some great information. He's given us his contact information for anyone who wants to donate, support, or help out. So all I have to say is thank you guys so much for being on our broadcast. Thank you, Miss Lisa. We can't see you because you're behind the camera, but thank you.
Here she is. And she had to give a few words because really, be honest with you folks, she is my backbone for everything I do. I'm able to freely, do this. And it brings me to mind of Frederick Douglass. I'm going to let this off after this. Brings me to mind of Frederick Douglass's first wife, Anna Mary, born a free Black woman. But Frederick Douglass was really, really encouraged by his first wife. She taught him how to read. She taught him how to keep himself together. You know what I mean? And I want to give my wife all the props because if she holds me up to make sure I'm able and comfortable to do this stuff. And you gotta have a taskmaster to be able to know how to do the task. So I give her a lot because I wouldn't be able to do it like I'm doing it now. I'll be able to be passionate about it if I didn't have the freedom. Excuse me. If I didn't have the freedom, Portia made me laugh. But anyway, say something, hon.
Hey, listen, I just want to thank everyone that has come on to really just to learn a little bit more about Harriet Tubman and also what we do and all like that. And the last thing that I'm going to say, hey, we hope to see you soon so you can come and visit some of the sites as well.
Come on down. We'd be more than glad. Just reach out to us. We'd love to have you.
All right. Well, that being said, we're going to end our broadcast here. Thank you guys for joining us. Viewers, thank you for tuning in. And as always, tune in tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next guest. Thank you, guys.